Edvard Westermarck was a pioneering Finnish sociologist and philosopher whose work on human behavior, marriage, and social relations paved the way for a more nuanced understanding of human society. His theories integrated biology, psychology, and anthropology to explain human behavior, exploring how evolutionary factors shape not only societal structures but also individual actions and relationships. Westermarck's contribution to the study of kinship, incest taboos, human sexuality, and social norms was groundbreaking in its approach, presenting a fresh perspective that integrated biological imperatives with cultural customs. Despite the controversial nature of some of his ideas, Westermarck's work offers numerous life lessons and practical insights into understanding human nature and the way we relate to each other. This video aims to explore the key themes in Westermarck's work, focusing on the lessons that can be derived from his research in sociology and anthropology. By examining his theories, such as the Westermarck Effect and the biological underpinnings of social behavior, we can better understand how his ideas contribute to our understanding of human relationships, the role of social bonds, and the nature of morality in the context of an evolving society. 1. Early life and academic background. Edvard Westermarck was born on November 15, 1862, in the small town of Hanko, Finland. Growing up in a family with strong academic and scientific roots, he developed an early interest in understanding human society and behavior. His formal education took him through various institutions in Finland, where he earned a degree in philosophy, and later a doctorate in sociology. In his early career, Westermarck was deeply influenced by the growing fields of anthropology and sociology, particularly the works of Charles Darwin, Herbert Spencer, and other early evolutionary thinkers. One of the turning points in Westermarck's life came when he began working on the sociology of marriage and family life. His deep interest in understanding the social norms surrounding marriage, kinship, and sexuality led him to propose theories that challenged conventional wisdom at the time. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Westermarck did not subscribe to a purely social constructionist view of human behavior. Instead, he integrated biological factors into his analysis, suggesting that human behavior and societal norms were not merely products of culture but were deeply influenced by evolutionary imperatives. Westermarck's academic journey was characterized by his passion for challenging accepted ideas and promoting interdisciplinary research. His work was far-reaching, blending elements of sociology, psychology, anthropology, and biology, and it laid the groundwork for modern studies in human behavior. 2. The Westermarck Effect, a biological foundation for social behavior. Perhaps the most well-known aspect of Westermarck's work is the theory that bears his name, the Westermarck Effect. This theory posits that individuals who grow up in close proximity to each other, such as siblings or even unrelated children raised in the same household, develop an aversion to sexual attraction toward each other. This aversion, Westermarck argued, was an evolutionary mechanism designed to prevent incest and the associated genetic risks. His hypothesis was groundbreaking because it suggested that such aversions were not culturally imposed but were instead a natural biological response. Westermarck's research was informed by both anthropological studies and evolutionary theory. He pointed to examples from societies across the world where incest taboos were universally present, even though the specific rules and practices surrounding marriage and kinship varied widely. For example, in many societies, children who were raised in the same household, even if not biologically related, would develop a disinterest in forming romantic relationships with one another. This, Westermarck argued, was not a cultural rule but a biological instinct that helped to ensure the health and survival of the species. In addition to explaining incest taboos, the Westermarck Effect also provided a broader framework for understanding how early experiences shape sexual attraction and social bonds. The theory suggests that the ways in which we form relationships and the individuals we are attracted to are influenced not just by societal norms but also by the specific environments in which we are raised. The implications of this theory extend to a wide range of human behaviors, from marriage customs to familial dynamics. Life lesson: the Westermarck Effect teaches us the importance of early experiences in shaping our preferences, behaviors, and emotional responses. Understanding the role of early environmental influences can lead to a deeper appreciation of the complex factors that contribute to human attraction, emotional bonds, and social norms. 3. The sociology of marriage, a cross-cultural perspective. Westermarck's work on marriage and kinship provided a detailed and systematic analysis of how marriage institutions have evolved across cultures. He explored how marriage practices were not just a matter of social convention but were closely tied to evolutionary and biological imperatives. Westermarck argued that the need for social stability and cooperation within groups played a key role in shaping the institution of marriage. Through his studies, Westermarck observed that marriage arrangements were often designed to facilitate cooperation between families and ensure the proper upbringing of children. In many societies, the institution of marriage was less about romantic love and more about forming alliances that could strengthen the social and economic position of families. For example, arranged marriages were common in many parts of the world, where the primary goal was to maintain wealth, power, and social status rather than to foster individual romantic fulfillment. Westermarck's work challenged the idealized notion of romantic love as the primary basis for marriage. Instead, he highlighted the practical considerations that often underpinned marriage arrangements, such as the need for economic cooperation and the social value of producing and raising children within stable family units. His analysis also pointed to the universality of marriage and kinship as social institutions that transcended cultural differences and helped human societies survive and thrive. Life lesson: Westermarck's study of marriage shows us that relationships are often shaped by practical considerations and the need for social cooperation. While romantic love plays an important role, marriage and other social institutions are also essential for ensuring stability and the well-being of individuals and communities. 4. Moral instincts and the evolution of morality. Westermarck's exploration of morality was another key area of his work. He proposed that moral instincts are not solely products of cultural conditioning but are also rooted in human evolution. According to Westermarck, the moral emotions that guide human behavior, such as empathy, guilt, and the desire to cooperate, are part of our biological makeup, evolved to promote group cohesion and survival. In his analysis, Westermarck argued that moral sentiments had evolved because they promoted cooperation within groups, which was crucial for human survival in early societies. For example, feelings of empathy helped to foster social bonds between individuals, while guilt and shame acted as social regulators, encouraging individuals to adhere to group norms and avoid behaviors that would harm the community. This perspective was revolutionary because it suggested that morality was not merely a social construct but had deep evolutionary roots. Westermarck's ideas laid the foundation for the study of moral psychology, influencing later thinkers in the field of evolutionary ethics, including Richard Dawkins and others who explored the biological basis of morality. Life lesson: Westermarck's view on morality teaches us that our moral instincts, such as empathy and cooperation, are not just cultural impositions but have evolved to help us function within social groups. Recognizing this biological foundation can help us navigate ethical dilemmas with a sense of fairness, compassion, and understanding. 5. The interplay between biology and culture. One of Westermarck's most enduring contributions was his ability to bridge the gap between biological instincts and cultural influences. He did not see biology and culture as separate or opposing forces but rather as complementary aspects of human life. In his work, Westermarck emphasized that while biological instincts and evolutionary factors provide a framework for behavior, cultural norms and societal structures also play a crucial role in shaping individual actions. For example, while incest taboos may be biologically driven, the specific ways in which societies enforce these taboos are shaped by cultural and religious norms. Similarly, while marriage may have evolved as a way to ensure social stability and the raising of children, the ways in which marriage is practiced are influenced by cultural traditions, economic structures, and religious beliefs. Westermarck's work offers a holistic view of human behavior, where biology and culture are intertwined, shaping everything from marriage practices to moral sentiments. He argued that to fully understand human behavior, we must consider both the evolutionary imperatives that guide us and the cultural contexts that shape our actions. Life lesson: Westermarck's integration of biology and culture teaches us that human behavior is shaped by a combination of innate instincts and social influences. By understanding this interplay, we can develop a more comprehensive understanding of the motivations behind our actions and societal structures. 6. The relevance of Westermarck's work today. Westermarck's ideas remain relevant today, particularly in light of ongoing debates about the relationship between biology and culture. As we continue to study human behavior through the lenses of sociology, psychology, and anthropology, his work provides a valuable framework for understanding how evolutionary factors shape human interactions. In modern discussions about marriage, family structures, and moral behavior, Westermarck's theories offer insights that can help us navigate the complexities of contemporary society. For example, his work on the Westermarck Effect challenges the notion of universal human attraction and raises important questions about the ways in which our early life experiences shape our relationships. Moreover, Westermarck's emphasis on the biological roots of morality offers a compelling counterpoint to purely cultural explanations of ethical behavior. In today's world, where moral relativism and cultural diversity often lead to conflicting viewpoints on issues like justice, equality, and rights, Westermarck's evolutionary perspective provides a basis for understanding how common moral principles might emerge across different societies. Life lesson: Westermarck's work reminds us that understanding human behavior requires a multifaceted approach that considers both our biological nature and the cultural contexts in which we live. His contributions continue to offer valuable insights into the complexities of human life and society. 7. The significance of Westermarck's theories on family dynamics. Edvard Westermarck's theories on family dynamics are central to his understanding of how human societies are structured and function. His work on kinship and marriage, especially within the context of family relationships, emphasized the importance of familial bonds as fundamental components of human society. He was one of the first scholars to suggest that these bonds, which include emotional and moral connections, were not purely socially constructed but were significantly influenced by biological instincts shaped by evolution. Westermarck's study of incest taboos was groundbreaking in that he argued these taboos were not merely the product of cultural norms but were grounded in biological aversions. This aversion, as proposed by Westermarck, is a natural instinct designed to prevent inbreeding, which could lead to genetic problems within families. However, the ways in which societies enforce these taboos and the cultural norms surrounding family structures are shaped by broader social contexts. He pointed out that these familial boundaries, particularly in terms of what constitutes a marriageable partner, vary greatly from one culture to another. Despite this, there is a shared understanding across most societies of the importance of maintaining specific social and familial boundaries to ensure the survival and stability of the group. Westermarck's analysis was also significant in its recognition of the role of parents in shaping the lives of children, not only in terms of biological care but through the transmission of moral values, social behaviors, and norms. According to Westermarck, the emotional and psychological bonds between parents and children, such as love and protection, were essential not just for individual survival, but for maintaining group cohesion. He suggested that strong family structures, which encourage positive attachments between parents and children, are vital for the social stability of any community. Life lesson: Westermarck's exploration of family dynamics teaches us that family is not just a social unit, but a key structure that shapes our emotional development and moral compass. The bonds we form with our families in early childhood, as well as the moral lessons passed down through generations, play an instrumental role in our understanding of the world and how we relate to others. 8. Social evolution and the changing nature of human relationships. Westermarck's work was ahead of its time in recognizing the evolving nature of social structures and relationships. He argued that human society, like any other biological organism, evolves over time in response to changing environmental and social conditions. This idea was revolutionary because it contradicted the notion that social institutions like marriage and family were static, unchanging systems. Instead, Westermarck suggested that these institutions are highly adaptive and shaped by both biological imperatives and the changing needs of human society. For example, he highlighted how marriage arrangements, once focused on familial alliances and economic cooperation, gradually began to include more emphasis on emotional fulfillment and personal choice. The shift from arranged marriages to love-based unions, particularly in Western societies, is a testament to the influence of both social and biological factors on human relationships. Westermarck argued that these changes were not the result of an entirely new cultural development, but rather the outcome of a long process of adaptation driven by evolutionary pressures. In addition to marriage, Westermarck recognized the shifting nature of other social norms and practices, such as the roles of women and the structure of kinship systems. For instance, the increasing recognition of gender equality and the growing acceptance of non-traditional family structures in modern societies point to the adaptability of social systems. Westermarck's ideas about social evolution offer a way to understand how societal norms change over time, often in response to larger shifts in social, economic, and political contexts. Life lesson: Westermarck's perspective on social evolution teaches us the importance of adaptability in human relationships and societal structures. As societal norms evolve and change, understanding these shifts allows us to embrace flexibility in our thinking and behavior, promoting more inclusive and dynamic ways of living. 9. The psychological and emotional dimensions of Westermarck's theories. While Edvard Westermarck's theories were grounded in evolutionary biology and sociology, they also delved deeply into the psychological and emotional dimensions of human life. His understanding of human relationships was shaped by the idea that social behavior and emotions are not purely rational or culturally derived but are rooted in evolutionary mechanisms that guide us toward cooperation and group survival. One of the most intriguing aspects of Westermarck's work is his exploration of emotional bonds within the family unit, particularly the parent-child relationship. Westermarck suggested that the emotional attachment between parents and children is not just a social or psychological phenomenon but a biological necessity for ensuring the survival of offspring. The emotional bonds that parents form with their children are vital not just for caregiving, but for ensuring that children are socialized into the norms and practices of their culture. This emotional connection is also crucial for the development of moral behavior, as children learn about empathy, responsibility, and the social rules that govern their behavior within a family and society at large. Moreover, Westermarck's exploration of the Westermarck Effect reveals his understanding of the emotional and psychological mechanisms that guide sexual attraction and repulsion. His theory about the natural aversion between people raised in close proximity challenges the conventional belief that sexual attraction is purely a product of individual choice or cultural influence. According to Westermarck, this aversion is a deeply ingrained emotional response that functions to prevent incest and maintain the genetic health of the population. This insight into human psychology reveals the complex interplay between emotion, instinct, and social behavior. Westermarck also touched on the role of empathy in human relationships, suggesting that empathy is an evolutionary adaptation that facilitates cooperation and social bonding. By fostering understanding and emotional connection, empathy helps individuals form stronger social bonds and promotes peaceful coexistence within groups. Life lesson: Westermarck's work on the emotional and psychological dimensions of human behavior teaches us the importance of emotional connections in shaping our relationships and moral understanding. Our feelings of attachment, empathy, and repulsion are not just social constructs, but have deep biological roots that guide our interactions and social functioning. 10. Legacy and contemporary relevance of Westermarck's work. Edvard Westermarck's ideas continue to resonate in contemporary discussions about human behavior, societal norms, and the evolutionary roots of morality. Although much of his work was groundbreaking for his time, it was often met with skepticism by his contemporaries. Over time, however, many of his ideas have been embraced by modern researchers in fields such as evolutionary psychology, sociology, and anthropology. Westermarck's theory of the Westermarck Effect, for example, has received increased attention in recent years with the rise of studies on kinship, genetics, and human behavior. Modern researchers in evolutionary biology and psychology have continued to explore the connections between early childhood experiences and later sexual attraction, with many findings supporting the idea that early familial relationships shape future romantic choices. His exploration of the biology of incest taboos, which was once seen as controversial, has been validated by studies on the genetic risks of inbreeding and the universal aversion to incest found across cultures. In addition, Westermarck's ideas on the evolution of social behavior have gained traction in light of contemporary debates about human nature. His belief that morality has biological roots, rather than being purely socially constructed, is an idea that has shaped much of the modern discourse on moral psychology and ethics. Researchers like Richard Dawkins, Franz de Waal, and others have built on Westermarck's foundational work, arguing that empathy, fairness, and cooperation are deeply embedded in human nature and have evolved to promote group survival. Today, Westermarck's work serves as a valuable resource for understanding the complexities of human behavior and societal structures. As we continue to grapple with issues like the nature of love, the evolution of family structures, and the role of morality in society, his ideas offer essential insights into how our biology shapes our social lives. Life lesson: Westermarck's legacy teaches us the value of integrating multiple perspectives, biological, cultural, and psychological, when studying human behavior. By acknowledging the complex interplay between these factors, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the societies we live in. Conclusion: Edvard Westermarck's groundbreaking work in sociology and anthropology has left a lasting legacy on our understanding of human behavior, social structures, and the moral instincts that guide us. Through his exploration of marriage, kinship, morality, and the biological roots of human behavior, Westermarck challenged conventional wisdom and offered a new way of thinking about the relationship between biology and culture. The life lessons we can derive from his work are multifaceted, touching on everything from the importance of early experiences in shaping relationships to the need for social cooperation in promoting group survival. His ideas remind us that human behavior is shaped by both innate instincts and cultural influences, and that understanding this interplay is key to navigating the complexities of modern life. As we continue to explore the mysteries of human behavior, Westermarck's legacy serves as a reminder of the importance of interdisciplinary approaches and the value of questioning conventional wisdom. His work encourages us to look beyond surface-level explanations and to consider the deeper biological, psychological, and social factors that influence our actions and relationships.